So, in the comments section of this video, we're going to be leaving links. Lots and lots of links to different articles talking about the Red Wings and going over some of the newer pieces of info that we can discuss with this team. However, I do want to get some of the upcoming news out of the way because the Wings do play a game later this afternoon against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and hey, guess what? My ball hockey is probably not going to go on today, and I do not have myself any significant plans, so I'll probably be able to watch this game. I'll probably be able to make a video commentary about it, which is always nice to be able to keep up to date with what the Wings are doing, especially since we are winding down, the preseason is coming to an end. If there is a chance for any of these guys to make or break their 2024 Red Wings chances, this is going to be it. Although I do understand that these players will have extended tryouts into the regular season. They'll get their 8, they'll get their 9 games, they'll get their small sample sizes, and if they do stick around longer than that, then okay, whoop-de-doo, they accomplished it. But for now, we are still at the tail end of the preseason. We gotta wait a little bit before everything is set in stone and the 82 games are played. But in this video, I wanted to expand a little bit more on some of the conversations we had yesterday, because if you had been paying attention to the show, we did upload the video talking about the Red Wings prospects and how I feel like I have been proven wrong by Steve Yzerman because Marco Kasper and Nate Danielson have been so gosh darn good. Let's go out there and refer to a piece published by Max Bultman on The Athletic, What I'm Seeing from the Red Wings, Detroit's Young Forwards Make Their Mark. This article was from yesterday, and as always, it'll be linked in the description, but because The Athletic is paid for material, we are not going out there and reading the transcript of this piece. Instead, we're going over onto Pro Hockey Rumors, because Josh Erickson summarized a lot of what was written about by Max Bultman on this free-to-read website. So, links to both articles are in the description. This is what Bultman writes about. Red Wings head coach Derek Lalonde is very impressed with how forward prospects Nate Danielson, Marco Kasper, and Carter Mazur have performed in training camp. He had told The Athletic's Max Bultman. They've kind of played into my optimistic vision of them, he added. I like all three. I think I've stated that quite a bit over the last year and a half, and they've done nothing to disappoint. The trio are still long shots to make the opening night roster with some crowded roster math working against them, but it's clear they'll be at the top of the list for in-season call-ups and should get at least a few NHL reps this year. And with this in mind, I think it's more so of a positive formality than anything, seeing the head coach speak this highly about these guys and kind of having that idea floated out there saying, hey, if anybody gets injured, if there are any extra forward spots that are opened up over the course of the year, you can bet your behind that Carter Mazur, Marco Kasper, and Nate Danielson are most likely going to be the players who step in and fill those roles. That is, assuming none of them make the team right out of training camp, which is not impossible, but you know, I think it's reasonable to say that the Red Wings have 12 forwards that would like to place in their lineup. I mean, you go over to the Red Wings and their line combinations on daily faceoff, you kind of have enough guys already in there. DeBrincat, Larkin, Raymond, Tarasenko, Comfort, Kane, Rasmussen, Kopp, Fischer, Berggren, Veleno, Tyler Mott, and that's not even including some of the other younger dudes that have a chance to potentially make the team. The team's pretty set, so if anybody goes out there and steals a spot, it's going to be a really big deal, and it would most likely precede some sort of a big trade to send a guy away. Maybe Veleno gets dealt, maybe Andrew Kopp gets dealt, maybe somebody else gets, I don't know, moved around up and down. There are options, of course, but when it comes to these three dudes, Mazur, Kasper, and Danielson, they've been so competent and so smart, honestly maybe even like the best versions of themselves, that it's difficult to really project how long they're going to stay in the American Hockey League. I mean, as soon as a guy gets injured, Marco Kasper is probably the first call-up, right? And then after the course of the year continues to play out, maybe Kasper gets called up a few times, he plays a few different stints, maybe then it's Carter Mazur's turn, and then maybe it's Nate Danielson's turn towards the end of the year. If the Red Wings are either fully secured in a playoff spot, then they can kind of just take it easy towards the end of the season, or if they're fully out of the playoff contention race, then why not give a guy like Nate Danielson some extra reps? It's kind of like the Simon Edvinsson path from last season up until now. We're now seeing that Edvinsson is probably probably going to be a mainstay guy. He's probably going to get a chance to play 82 games, and if he's as good as we think he could be, then that would be a huge step up in the Red Wings' overall quality on the ice. Now, speaking about prospects, there actually was another thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to Red Wings Nation. This was actually written about by Kevin Allen earlier this morning on the Detroit Hockey Now Daily article, Ex-Red Wings player sidelined and Buchelnikov stats. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to this article as well. Allen goes out there and talks about some of the latest in former Red Wings news. There's a little thing about how Alex Nedeljkovic got injured yesterday, and then there are a few other notes about other Red Wings smaller stories. The Wings released veteran Alex Chiasson from his PTO. The training camp roster is still at 55, including 8 goalies. Paywall story about coach Derek Lalonde likes 26-year-old prospect Hunter Johannes' high compete motor. Johannes has an AHL contract for this season, so we'll see what exactly happens with him as the year goes on. And then Michigan native Austin Watson hopes the Wings will give him the opportunity to put some punch in their lineup. At the bottom, though, there is a little excerpt written about some extra news. Detroit is home tonight for a preseason game against the Maple Leafs, and in terms of prospect news, Dmitri Buchelnikov has 1 goal, 8 points in 10 games for Podolsk Vityaz of the Russian-based KHL. And I wanted to go over a little bit on Buchelnikov here, just because it is great to see there is a Red Wings prospect who is near a point-per-game rate so far. Last year, he had 29 points in 55 games played. This year, he's on pace for about 55 points, which would be a significant improvement. Definitely something you would like to see out of a 21-year-old Red Wings second-round pick from 2022. We've made a few videos about Buchelnikov here and there, but he's got a really nice ability to set guys up. He's really fast, and he's skilled too. There are a lot of things to like about Buchelnikov's game, and of course, the Red Wings have had a pretty good history of Russian players in the past, so paying attention to Vityaz Moscow region's team in the KHL definitely will be on many Red Wings fans' bucket lists this year. But either way, I just wanted to toss out some love there to Buchelnikov since he has been a noteworthy Red Wings prospect over the past little while here. And ultimately, you know, this is all coming down to this. The Red Wings do have some notable young talents. These guys are impressing Derek Lalonde. These guys are impressing Red Wings fans who are watching these preseason games. Whether or not that means immediate NHL stardom in 2024-2025, that remains to be seen. But for now, we'll use this last game against the Toronto Maple Leafs to get our final judgments in. And we're going to be talking about all that and more later in today's show. So stick around for the evening, night video that we're going to upload after the Wings and the Maple Leafs game. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Derek Lalonde's response to Carter Mazur, Marco Kasper, Nate Danielson, some of the other conversations we had here regarding Red Wings prospects and names. Alex Chiasson, goodbye. Austin Watson, still here. Dmitri Buchelnikov, what are your thoughts on him doing the things he's doing in the KHL? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.